after it. Exciting time for everybody in the NFL right now. A lot of work to be done, and started yesterday and continue here and as we get going. Couple injury notes for you guys. Bilal won't be out there, coming back from the neck still. BJ won't be out there, coming back from the knee. And a new one that popped up was Walter hurt his calf training, so he's going to miss some time. And all three of them are doing everything they can to get back on the field. So that's just a little update for you guys with that. Give me some questions.
How serious is Walter Nolan's injury?
You know, they're all different, but he's going to miss some time. You know, really don't like to compare injuries. He hurt his calf, you know. A little bit different injury, and they're obviously different people, so he's working hard to get back.
When you say this time, you mean you're expecting throughout past camp and into like preseason, regular season, or right now just talking about training camp time?
Well, I don't know, Danny, honestly. You know, they're all different, so he's recovering, rehabbing, and he'll get out there when he needs to get out there, but he's going to miss some time.
With all three of them, is there a chance this extends into the regular season?
Again, Teo, I don't know that. You know what I mean? I really don't. You know, we'll see how it goes. Each one's a little bit different. Each injury's a little bit different. Each guy's a little bit different. So we'll get rolling, and other guys will get ready to go, and they'll get ready to go. They want to be out there with their teammates and practice, and we need all three. But when they're healthy, they'll play.
Can you sense the frustration on those guys when they're coming?
Yeah, it's, you know, but they know it's part of the game. You know, the Bilal and BJ got hurt playing football. You know, Walter gets hurt doing the right things, training. You know what I mean? It's part of the game. It happens, and you just control the controllables, honestly. You know, so.
Along the controllables, and I know you've talked about this before, the outside noise. As a coach, when somebody says expectations to you and what you expect in a successful season, how do you define expectations?
Yeah, I mean, define it by the definition, I guess, Darren. But you know, that's it, to me. It's an external factor. You know, we're working hard every day, doing our best that we can, becoming a better football team.
With Coach Alari, there is so much hype, I guess. I don't want to use it, but using it. Last training camp has a knee injury. Is this not a setback, but is it going to slow his progress while not being able to get on the field right now?
You know, obviously reps are learning experiences, so he missed a year of reps, of game reps, you know, and I really liked where he was trending. But when he gets back, he'll pick up where he left off, and then, you know, every day will be a learning experience for him.
Coach, when you come into this, is there an offense or defense better or more progressed, I guess, than the other? Not necessarily better, but just more advanced than the other one? And do you expect?
I don't think so. You know, I think we're going to pick up where we left off. But again, we kind of, you know, you're kind of picking up. I think I talked about it in OTAs. Like OTAs kind of stepping stone for camp. So yesterday's meetings, all three phases, there was a lot covered in a short amount of time that they have to know. You know what I mean? So you're on to 221A now. You know what I mean? Not 101. So. That's cool, but we'll have to coach all the details just like you always do. That's where the game is. And each guy's a little bit different, but the sense of urgency to get better individually and collectively is there. So I'm excited about that.
Let's kind of off topic a little bit. When you set up a locker room, what's your philosophy for how you put guys, where you put guys?
Put guys where they want to go.
Where they want to go.
Pretty easy. Rookies don't have a say. Vets do.
Every year's different for you.
Will's by me.
You don't like
He's not happy about it. Sorry, Donnie. Go ahead. Give it to me again. Oh, I'm right with the players in the locker room now.
Are there any differences you can tell, at least right now, from this year's team compared to last year's team?
I think there's always a sense of urgency if you're in the NFL. There's always a sense of urgency to do your job at the highest level that you can do it. Right. I think that there's a level of enthusiasm throughout our team that they understand what they need to do to win more games. And I think it's pretty clear to those guys. And honestly, Donnie, they know it's going to be highly competitive. You know, the roster's in a good spot. Mine's done a great job with that. There's a lot of spots open, and there's a lot of competition for those spots. So guys right now are looking to compete for their roles, and because they know the clock's ticking as far as there's no break in between. You know, they're competing for their roles through preseason, through training camp. And then when we get to week 1, you're going to define roles. So I told them last night, you look at it, it's end of July here, and you think, oh, well, we play, you know, September, whatever. You think you have a lot of time, but you really don't. When you look at the schedule, there's really not a lot of time. So every second counts. The boss talked last night. I thought he gave a great message to the team. Like, every day matters. You know what I mean? You got to be getting better every day to do what we want to do, which is win games.
Does that feel elevated from last year in terms of guys?
No, like I said, I think, you know, if the NFL mindset is there's always a sense of urgency, everything like that. I think the players are really confident who's sitting next to them, that if we play our brand of ball, we can win some games. You know what I mean? So, and I don't think they didn't feel that last year or the year before, but it's a heightened sense of awareness. We're in year 3 now, and we got what we need. Say it again, Ken.
Are those locker right outside your office?
No, I'm right next to him.
Like you actually have a locker.
I'm not. I was maybe being a little sarcastic. If I could be in the players' locker room, I would be next to Will.
Should he take that as a compliment?
Make sure he laces up his shoes the right way. The old John Wooden thing. This is how you put on your sock. It's a great book.
Coach, what is your expectations for Marvin in this camp, and then how can he take the next step?
Same as all our players, all 90 guys, all coaches, all staff, but myself. Get better every day. Get better every day. Work your craft. Get better every day. That he knows how to do that. Everyone knows how to do that. You know, we need everyone to be at their best to impact games. You know, and he's no different than, you know, whoever.
In your time in the NFL, it seems like there's so many younger wide receivers that come out of college and make this tremendous impact right away. Does it feel elevated now than maybe it was 10 or 15 years ago that these guys can come in? And I'm not just talking about Marvin, but obviously Chase did it, and Jefferson, that kind of thing. It feels like receivers have jumped a little bit.
You know, there's so many variables that go into that question, Darren, for me to answer, and I don't have the breadth of knowledge to give you a good answer on that. I know that guys make certain jumps throughout their career. You see a lot of guys make a jump from year 1 to year 2, but that's not always. You know, there's guys that have made jumps in year 6 and year 7. If you ask the oldest vet we have on the team, he's trying to make a jump right now. So I think that's just part of being an NFL football player. Like, you got to be getting better, you know, and that happens for every different guy at different timeline. And like I said, you know, I'm not going to compare. There's too many variables that go into that. What does that look like? Why he made the jump or why he didn't make the jump.
What's allowed Calais and Kelvin to have such long careers?
Consistency. Honestly, that's, you know, what in my mind, they do things right consistently all the time. They got their routines, they stick to them, they maximize themselves as player, as people. You know, off the field, they treat people the right way. Should be able to do that.
Coach, knowing fans will be here tomorrow.
They got talent. Knowing
fans will be here tomorrow. Are you excited about that?
Always. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. Our guys like to, you know, be under the lights and have eyes on them. You know what I mean? Every NFL player does. So that'll be fun. We always have good turnouts. I hope we have a good turnout this camp, whatever the open practices are. I'm excited about getting in front of the fans, you know. It's a cool thing that the whole organization puts on for those people to come out and watch.
How does having depth on defense and the offense kind of hoping to pick up where it left off last year, how does that impact how you can organize a camp and maybe even open up the playbook a little bit?
I wouldn't say open up the playbook. Like the playbook, all 3 phases got, you know, torn down and rebuilt from scratch with who we have as we sit here today. But you got to be adaptable with that. You know what I mean? Because it might not look like, You know, in a week, it might not look like what it looks like today. You know what I mean? So obviously we have schemes in place, things that we believe in, core philosophies and all that. But to me, good coaching is you put your players in the best position you can with who you have, with who you're going against, and let it rip. So that's kind of what we do here.
Seems like this time of year, there's always a handful of teams that have some sort of drama going on off the field, contracts, whatever that is. Since you've been here, that has not been the case with this organization. What benefit does that have in the locker room with the team when you're not having those distractions off the field?
Yeah, when I first got here, I had to talk to Buddha, so that off the top of my head. I want you here, buddy. No, that was a phenomenal dinner. Yeah, I say this, like, it's a business, so I understand why those things happen. Monty has done a really good job, and Michael have done a really good job to eliminate a lot of those for us. And when you can eliminate a lot of those, now you can concentrate on football and getting better, and you're not really worried about distractions. Now, distractions are only distractions if you let them be that, but you're talking about people's lives too, so I understand that. I'm very grateful the spot that we're in as we sit here today, and that's because Michael and Monty have done a really good job with our players, you know. And the business side of that, you see a lot of distractions come up with the business side, which the players, you know, should do that. But I feel really good about where the team is at, what our focus is on right now, which is getting better. And you know, every day we got to maximize every day.
Other than the injured guys, everybody's here and ready to roll?
Yeah. Yep.
You mentioned you want more friction in this camp. If the players are wondering, what does that mean?
Yeah, they know what that means, Paul. They know what that means. That'll start next week when the rules allow us.
It's very early. It's July.
Teo, come on now, it's early. When you lead with a question like that, you know, when you lead with a statement before the question, I know what you're going to ask. Go ahead.
You know what I'm going to ask?
Go ahead.
What makes this a successful season?
I don't know, man. Process, man. Process today. I'm worried about today, truthfully. You know, yeah, I talked about it with our psych docs this morning. It's like, you know, how there's psychology with, you know, where your attention goes to, and to perform at your best, what you need to be thinking about and what you need to be focused on. A successful season looks like you evaluate that in the off season. I am not there right now, you know, and that's the truth, you know, it really is. So I understand that's out there, just like for every team, every player, every coach. You know, if you want to do the best job that you can, you're not focused on that.
Do you set goals for yourself going into camp in the season?
Not for myself, for the team.
Previous training camps, you've talked about momentum at great length and depth.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever actually answered. Do you believe in momentum?
I saw somebody wrote something. Somebody sent me something. I believe in a compounding effect of doing things the right way on a consistent daily basis with energy and enthusiasm to get the result that you want. Done.
Leave on that one.
Leave on that one. All right, guys. Thank you.